Well, let me tell you, it is bright and early in the morning. I went to my local farmer's market yesterday and I bought a couple dozen of corn on the cob. This corn looks absolutely amazing. Look how full those ears are, and my favorite is the bicolor. What I plan on doing is I'm going to cut this off the cob, cook it up a little bit, throw some butter in it, and I'm going to put it in freezer bags and put it in my freezer. I'm not really sure how many bags I will get out of this. But I'm trying to get my freezer nice and stocked for the fall and winter, and I love corn on the cob, or corn. I love corn on the cob, but I prefer to cut it off the cob when I'm putting it up for the winter, because I just think that it just turns out so much better. So I'm going to cut it off the cob. Some people like to leave it on the cob and freeze it that way. I never really had a whole lot of luck with that, because there's just so much moisture in it, and it kind of gets those ice crystals on it, and it's all right, but it's so much better off the cob. So we're going to go ahead and get this processed. I'm going to show you how to do this. So simple, so easy. And if you're looking to put some corn in your freezer, you're going to love this video, because it's so easy to do. So easy to do. Now I'm going to start with putting all my corn back in the kettle that I'm going to cook it. And I did buy this, you hear that? I did buy this tin here. I see a few little pieces of corn hair. I got to get that off. This tin at the dollar store too. I thought it would be easier to cut my corn up in, and then we'll just have to transfer it from this to my pot. I have to get rid of that water that's in there. Well, let me tell you, look at this. By the time I got it out of the dollar store and in my car and back into my house, I had this thing a mess. I don't know how people bake in these big things. Now, if it's something small, like a casserole or something, I can get all that water out. I don't want that water in my corn. That I can see it. But, you know, people buy those and cook turkeys in them. How, Lord have mercy, how do you guys pick up your turkey when you bake it in these things? I've got these in the past and baked them in there, the bigger ones, but I've always bought like 2 or 3. That way there's some support. So what you're going to do, after all your corn is nice and clean, you're just going to cut it off the cob. Very easy. So just take a knife and just run it down there. So impressed by how full the corn is. I'm going to show you. Now, I've cut corn off the cob many times and cooked it here on my channel. But for those of you that are new here, let me go ahead and introduce myself. I'm Sandy, and I love to cook, and I love to share recipes. So anyway, you just, oh, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Once I get it cut off, the majority of it, what I do is I take it, and then you just kind of scrape it like that, because you're getting all of that goodness out of there. See that? See that goodness? You're getting all of that out of there. That's that, you know, that's that corn milk. It's that corn juice. It's going to make your corn absolutely amazing. So I'm just going to continue to get every bit of this corn off here. I'm not wasting it. This stuff is expensive, I'm telling you. But guess what? We're going to be eating good this winter. Look at all that corn. It took me about 30 minutes to cut all of this off the cob. Maybe 25 minutes. And this pan is full. I cannot get over how full that corn on the cob was. Now I'm going to transfer it into my big pot and get it started. Now I'm going to turn it on, I'm just going to turn it on low. You want to make sure that you, it's the wrong one. You want to make sure that you don't scorch your corn. So I'm gonna let that get started going. I'm gonna add some butter to it once it heats up. I'm just gonna rinse this pan out really well, and then we're gonna, after we're done cooking the corn for a little bit, we're gonna put it back in the pan here so it can, we wanna make sure that it's nice and cool before we add it to our bags. All right, so I love when I'm just sitting here talking and didn't even have the record on. Anyway, I'm gonna put that, keep that on low and let it come up to temperature, really low and slow, because corn has a lot of juice content in it, milky liquid in it. So, I mean, it can burn rather quickly. It can scorch rather quickly, and you definitely don't want that. So low and slow, bring it up to temperature. I'm going to let, once it starts to really start to cook, come to a boil and start cooking, I'm going to add some butter to it. I bought the unsalted butter. You don't want to add any salt to your corn when you're, getting it ready to put in the freezer, because salt draws out those liquids, and it's going to make your corn like super watery, runny, whatever. I always wait until I'm ready to, when I pull it out to serve it for, dinner, lunch, breakfast. It's that good. It's just that good. You can have it for breakfast. Forget that cereal, have that corn. Now, while we're getting that going, I want to show you the tomatoes that I got yesterday. These run for $20 a box. Now, I remember years ago when I used to can, I haven't canned in a long time, it's been a while, but these usually ran for about maybe $12, $13, $14 a box. This is a 25-pound box, and I want to show you how big some of these tomatoes are. These tomatoes, look at that. Look how good that looks. Some of them are massive. Look how big that tomato is. And you know what? Let me show you the whole box. Look at that. Look at those. I got 2 of these boxes for $20. I'll probably take some of them out and, keep them for eating. I'm thinking tomorrow that I might make some, while we're canning these tomatoes, I might fry up a bunch of bacon and get some turkey and some ham and make some club sandwiches, because I love tomatoes on club sandwiches. Look how big that is. That is so big. And these tomatoes, depending on which ones you buy, they have all kinds of different delicious types of tomatoes there. They have Brandywine and what else? They got so many different ones. But they run you a piece, like $3 or $4 a pound. And this tomato right here, I'm sure it weighs over a pound. So, this is a really good buy. It's a really good buy. If you're looking to do canning and your tomatoes aren't, ripe yet, or you didn't plant enough tomatoes, check into your local farmer's market to see if they sell their tomatoes in bulk. You can't beat them. You can't beat them. So I might just cut me one up and eat it. I'm getting pretty hungry. Give me a salt shaker and I'm good to go. Again, I've got this on about medium low. We're going to turn it up just a little tiny bit. And as you can see, as I'm stirring it, I'm going to look at see the corn is getting, a little bit more wet, if you will. As it heats through, it starts releasing, some of its corn juices. We talked about that, didn't we? Corn juices. I'm going to go ahead and stick, since it's getting nice and warm, a stick of butter in there. That's a lot of corn. I might use a little bit more than a stick. I'm using the real butter, and like I said, this is the unsalted butter. I'm not going to bother with cutting it up. I'm just going to stick it in there. It'll melt. It'll melt. And then I just keep going in and then just bringing that corn off the bottom. Just making sure that it's not, scorching at all. Let me tell you something. It smells good already. All right, let's see if I can do this without getting burnt. I don't know, because the pan is very hot. You know what? I'm gonna take the safe route. We're gonna scoop it out. Well, I'm just gonna, I rinsed this out like I said I was gonna do. And I'm just gonna put my corn in here just to cool. You wanna make sure it's nice and cool. And I want you to look at all that liquid that's in there with that corn. You definitely do not need to add any liquid. Now, some recipes that you may look up and see, it'll say add water, or some people add milk, and I'm not sure that I understand that philosophy, but you know, if that's what you do and you enjoy it, then you know, you go ahead and you know, you do you. You do you. The corn is finally cooled to where I think it's cooled enough to put in the freezer. Now, I need to go in for taste. It smells so good. I'll try some. Mmm. Man. That is like, that is sweet like candy. Oh, man, that's good. All right. Let's get this corn in the bag. See if this hack works. I like to stick bags and stuff and fill them that way. I don't know if that's going to work, but we could always use a coffee cup. These are just the, what are these? These are quart-sized bags. So I may do some partial gallon bags just to, you know, for family, big family get-togethers. Make sure you get some of that juice as well. Look at all that juice in there. See, look at that. No need to add liquid to your corn. I'm going to fill this about 3/4 the way up, if not more. I want to have a little bit of room to, you know, squeeze some of the air out. You want to make sure you get some of the air out, or most of the air out. Let's see how much that is. Oh, gosh. You know what? I don't think I am going to do gallon-sized bags. I think I'm just going to do all these size. This size, the smaller size. Let's see. That'll be perfect. And what I'll probably do is do some that has a little bit less in it, just for when it's like me and the husband. And then, you know, when all the kids come over, I can always do, you know, 2 bags of it. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here. We're going to get the air out of it. See the air that's in there? You want that out. So we're just going to do a corner of it. And then just kind of push the air out. Kind of flatten it. This is a big bag. I think we're going to fill the rest of them up just a little bit less. This will be perfect for when all my kids come over. This should be good enough. I don't know. Mariah likes to eat. She loves corn. Look at all that juice in there. Look at that. Are you seeing all that juice? Just make sure it's nice and sealed. Like, perfect. That is a nice size bag of corn. Perfect. Now I'm going to finish filling my bags up, and I'll show you what they all look like, and I'll let you know exactly how many I got when I'm done. Ended up with 8 bags of corn. Some of them I filled more than the others. Like, see, this one's a little bit thinner, because that'll be perfect for, you know, 2 or 3 people, which with leftovers. Some of them I filled a little bit fuller. I probably could have got 10 bags out of this if I would have, you know, rationed it a little differently. It is so much better than store-bought, the corn that you get in the freezer from the store. And it's just so much better. It's so much better. It tastes so much better. And then you won't have to wait all winter long for some fresh corn from the garden, from somebody's garden. Your garden, could be from your garden. I didn't raise any corn this year. I am going to put these in my freezer. They're nice and cool. And it was so easy to do, so easy. It's just a little time consuming if you have a helper with you that can maybe shuck your corn, or, you know, you could shuck your corn the day before. Or, you know, some people really get into, you know, they really love to do this. So I guess if I, you know, didn't have to work so much, I would really take joy in doing it as well. It's not a hard thing to do. It's just, it can be a little time consuming, but you know what? Everything that's worth it really is. You know, anything that's worth anything in your life, it's never a quickie. Well, you know what I mean. You can't go wrong by filling your freezer full of goodies. You know I love you guys so very much. I appreciate you. Make sure you share this video. I love you, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Take care.